Hi everyone. Well, this weekend we've just done a lot of cleaning and prepping. So what I've done is I've been waiting for the weather to be warm enough to get this thing out and give it a good clean down and hose down while there was some sun to let it dry out before I put it away for the night. So yeah, we got it out at lunchtime, blew all the dust off, and have given it a good clean down with a product from a company called Fireball. So now what they've got is it's like a ceramic coat. It's called their Grace by Fireball. So supposedly supposed to extend the amount of time between having to clean and detail the car. So for this thing that sits a lot, hopefully it'll work. So all you have to do is give it a good shake, put it on microfiber, and then you just evenly put it over the clean paint. Now, this probably could have done with a bit of a clay bar and stuff like that as well, but the paint on this poor old thing is a little bit ordinary. It's about a 30 odd year, 32-year-old restoration and paint job on this one. So don't want to go too nuts on it. I just want to keep the thing clean. So, and now that we've got it clean and dust free and dry, we should be able to get it under the covers and towel to keep the dust off of it. And with this product on there, if it works like it says it does, and I got it off of a mate that does use it at his panel shop, apparently if I keep it covered and it doesn't get driven in the rain, I should be able to just give it a wipe over with one of those static dust mops every now and then, and maybe wash it once every 12 months, which is a good thing because you keep the moisture out of the car. And when you look up close on this one, you can see where it's got humidity blisters from the first part of its life living up in North Queensland. So it didn't like the moisture. So now once we've got a good even layer of that over the whole car, or sorry, over the whole panel, we'll work it in. Okay, see up there. And then take another dry, clean microfiber, and you keep working it until it's dry and gone. Just want to quickly get this one done, and while there's still some daylight, take it out and see if it looks half decent. Or if there's any spots that I've missed. Okay. And they say after you're finished, it's probably got about another hour or so before it hardens and fully cures. So that's done. So now while that's sitting there, what have we got here? What is it? Okay, so this one's the trim and tyre. So this one, I guess, is kind of like in place of where you would normally use your armour all, but by what he said, it doesn't stay wet and sticky and flick everywhere, and it dries. You give it a bit of a buff off and it dries to just a nice clean satin colour. Or you can put another coat of it on and have a wet look. So put some on the foam pad. There's nothing else that smells good. Okay. Oop. And we'll do one of the back ones. Now, put that in there. Grab this one, dry microfiber. See if we can get you guys over this side. So we just put it on with the foam applicator. And now just the wipe off. Cool. All right. Give it one more on the front one. Okay. We'll let those soak in for a bit, and I'll quickly do a hit on the others. Oh, would have been easy without that other carney. Oop. Clumsy. Okay. So now the other side should be right to buff off dry. Okay. Right, so got some daylight left. I'll get that outside. We'll have a look and see what it cleaned up like. Okay, so we're losing daylight, but that took all of hour and a half to run around the whole car. And like I said, it still hasn't fully set off. And that paint hasn't had a wash or a polish. Well, probably hasn't had a wash in nearly 12 months. Was under covers for a lot of that time. Hasn't had a polish in a couple of years. So it's yeah, comes up okay. We'll see what it's like once we pull the covers off it next weekend and see how it goes at keeping the dust off it. And the tyre shine, like you can see, not wet and drippy, so it comes up nice and clean, just looks like clean rubber. So all the chrome's got to get going over with a metal polish and clean up that as good as we can get it. Really does need the bumper re-chromed, but that's a one-day project. So yeah, for an afternoon, comes up okay. All right, so Dylan got in and gave the XK a bit of a clean up, get the dust off it, clean the interior up. Started putting a few more bits and pieces back in, like the gauge cluster and whatnot. So there is a couple of little runs which I was going to try and muck around with this afternoon and try and shave down, but I've run out of daylight. So best to leave that until there's some sunlight that I can work with. And the other thing we spent most of the day doing, or I spent most of the day doing, these are all buffed. So We sanded those quickly with 1000, 2000 and 3000 grit foam back pads on the DA, and then gave it the lamb's wool yellow foam and grey foam buff quickly. So good enough for what it's going to be used for. Dust on it already from sitting outside. So yeah. Right, so that's a really quick update on where we were for this weekend, guys. Really boring weekend. Not a lot of filming because there was nothing to watch. It was just sanding, polishing, buffing, and washing a car. Yay. But the Fireball product, not the cheapest, but does really seem to work nice. So the interesting thing will be how it holds up for dust and keeps the bodywork clean. So with the dust that's in this shed, even with a cover on it, we should see what happens next weekend when we unwrap it. So yeah, the XK's roof's nice and clean again, nice and sparkly. So yeah, I'll get this XR in and we'll chuck a cover on it for now, and we'll see you when we've got some more interesting stuff to show you. Okay, bye. Okay, one last thing before we clean up for the night. Anyone that's been wondering what's been going on with Dad's XE, over here in the corner, there's the two front fenders there, and I do have underneath the welder the two rust repair sections for the lower outers and the inners I think he managed to get. So I've been waiting to fit them while I practice on the blue XA guard tucked in the corner over there, how to TIG weld them in, and to get that sorted out first so I can patch them up nice. That's coming along okay. Yes, I will get back onto that XA fender and finish that off, and show you that all dressed up and ready to go as soon as we clean up the mess of that BA Falcon after young Connor munted all the front of that up. So I've just got to get nudged to get that towed over here over the week, and then the body will get keyed back quickly with the DA, and we're going to go wet on wet sealer, and then straight to colour. Nothing flash. It's just a work hack. So when that's out of the way, then we're going to get right into that, finish that off, get the two XE fenders patched up and in Epitech epoxy and sorted, ready to take back over. And yes, there is also still the XA and XC grills there to finish off. I'm happy with the plastic repairs on the XA, and they've bonded in nice and strong. All the tests that we did on the XC one, you can swing it from the two posts that we glued onto the back with that Worth epoxy, and seems to hold up really good. I've just got to sort out my what do you call it, my technique for painting plastic. I wasn't real happy with the plastic primer that we used on the BA bumper, but in the end I kind of worked it out So I've just got to work out or get a way smaller gun than what I've got to do the XA grill and the XC grill, because there's a lot of small fins in there, and I've got a strange feeling it'll end up pooling and puddling and getting runs in there everywhere. So yeah, they are next. They're coming up, and so are the XE fenders. So yeah, we just got to get through the mundane, boring stuff of that Falcon Ute repair, and yeah, we'll get back into more of what we're normally doing. And Dylan will get his front fenders stripped on this, ready to go to epoxy, and then it's just a case of him enjoying himself sanding a lot to get all the primer blocked back and straight and ready for colour. All right, again, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your comments, and we'll see you next time. Bye.